Okay, we back at it. Let's see if we good this time. Let's see. Do something real quick. Oh yeah, let me do this. Okay, we cool. We good on IG. We good on YouTube, and it look like we ain't glitching no more. You dig? Trying to come against this game. Okay, now give me just a second. Just gotta do something real quick. Y'all already know what to do, man. When you step into a pimp's domain, hit that like button, wipe your feet off at the door. Just gotta do something real quick. Be done before you know it. Okay, now, let me see. Yeah, man, we gonna chop some good game today, man. You see all kind of hater shit. You see how shit be trying to come against this pimping. Y'all seen that picture fall yesterday? I mean that not picture, but that I guess you could say artwork. Y'all seen that fall on me the last time. That shit durable though because it didn't break. I give it that much. I give it that much. Okay. They making a damn camera glitch on a pimp. All the bullshit. We gonna pimp past it and pimp through it. Pimp around it. Pimp over it. We gonna pimp. Okay, now we good. Now we are good. Okay, once again, man, if for those of y'all just tuning in and tapping in with a pimp, welcome. Do me a favor. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. It look like that icon right there. And I already poured my love in my glass because for those of y'all just tuning in and for those of y'all that's going to watch this on the replay, the original live was tripping. So y'all just pretend like you seen a pimp if you didn't see a pimp pour this love in my glass. And I'm about to put it in my body, you dig? Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, man. We're gonna talk about making that cat valuable again. You know, a lot of people talk about making 304s expensive again, and I feel that. I've even said that before. I've even spoken about making 304s expensive again. But something that I haven't touched on yet publicly on the internet and something I haven't seen anybody else touch on because I don't see people really touching on the things that I be touching on as far as the game go. You dig? Pimp just like getting, I just like touching all parts of the game, you know what I mean? Because I just love the game so much, right? And I like presenting y'all with game this unconventional and makes you think activate different parts of your brain that might be in hibernation right now. So with that being said, man, we're going to talk about making 304s valuable again, because before they can be expensive again, they got to be valuable again. You can't make something expensive if you don't even recognize the value of that thing that you're talking about making expensive or thinking about making expensive, right? So the value, you got to really understand what value means. And in regards to a person, a human being, how human beings, how we assess our own value. Self-esteem is something that, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people in the game don't think about, talk about, none of that. But self-esteem plays a major role in understanding your value. And, a lot of 304s, or supposed to be 304s, because most of the chicks that's in the game right now not really 304s. They just setting it out there for sale, but they not really 304s. You dig? They don't have a concept of self-esteem. Their self-esteem is bankrupt right now. You dig? And when your self-esteem is bankrupt, you subject to make a whole lot of mistakes in this game. And one major mistake, man, that a lot of chicks make in this game is not understanding their role as a 304 and not understanding the client's role, the trick's role, right? Now, you understand as a 304 that you're supposed to provide a service. The client is supposed to pay you for that service. You understand that much, but you don't really understand your roles. You don't understand, what the client wants aside from just pleasure. You got to understand all of what the client is paying for. And you got to understand all of what you're supposed to provide as a 304. Listen, just look at it from the average trick's perspective. Think about a day in the life of the average trick. They go to work. They bust their behind all day long at their job, whether it's a white collar job or a blue collar job. Nonetheless, they busting their behind. It's work involved, whatever the case may be, right? But they stay at work all day for a full shift. A lot of them work overtime. You got a lot of clientele that work 10, 12, and some even 16 and 18-hour shifts. Shout out to y'all, you know what I mean? Shout out to the tricks that's putting in overtime, you know what I mean? So they can get them 304 some extra dimes, and make her crime worthwhile, you dig? So this trick been at work all day. Most likely he's in a serious relationship with a woman. He's committed to a woman. And just like any relationship that you can think of that you've been in, whether it's an intimate relationship, a personal relationship, a business relationship, a family relationship, any relationship that you've been in for an extended period of time, there's going to be moments where you don't always like that person that you're in a relationship with, and that person that you're in a relationship with doesn't always like you. So, a lot of tricks or clients who've been in long-term relationships, they work a stressful job in most cases, and then they go home and they got to deal with a stressful relationship with a significant other, right? So with this being said, when a client comes to a 304, he doesn't just come for, stimulation intimately, right? He comes for relief. See, a lot of y'all don't know the real terminology. A lot of common terminology in the game that those of us that come from different times use, right? But it's crazy. A lot of chicks that's in the game right now, that's down somewhere right now, selling that thing, probably have never even heard this before. But there's a common saying, this the truth, and that is, A trick pays you to leave. Why is he paying you to leave? Because he has to go back to his girlfriend or his wife, and he can't pay her to leave. He really paying her to stay. But that's a whole nother conversation. The trick is paying you to leave. Why is he paying you to leave? Because when he comes to you, he doesn't want to have to deal with attitude. He doesn't want to get personal with you. Professional tricks. Now, these goofy tricks, they do want to get personal with you and make you their girlfriend and all that type of stuff. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the traditional, professional client. They don't want to get personal with you. They don't want to get to know you on a personal level. They want to deal with you on a professional level because you're supposed to be a professional 304, right? So they paying you to leave. They don't want to have to deal with your attitude. They don't want to have to deal with, what you going through in your personal life, and they shouldn't have to, and you shouldn't want them to. So they paying you to leave. And within the time that they pay to spend with you, it's supposed to be a relief. In a lot of cases, it may involve intimacy. In a lot of cases, it may not. But whatever it is that takes place within that time frame that they pay you for, it's supposed to be a relief. After dealing with that stressful job, after dealing with that stressful girlfriend or wife, after dealing with them stressful kids, he's supposed to be able to come to you for relief, to take his mind off. It's like, having a spa day for women. Women have spa days. What I mean? Clients, they have 304 days where they go, get treated by the 304. It's the same thing. Just imagine, ladies, this watching right now, right? And even 304s that may be listening and watching right now, right? Just imagine if you go to you go for a spa day, right? And you supposed to be pampered and all this type of stuff. And just imagine the masseuse that's supposed to be massaging you. Just imagine them, in their phone. They massaging you with one hand, but they looking at their phone with the other hand, right? And imagine them, getting blown up by whoever they in a relationship with, and arguing with them in the midst of your spa treatment. Imagine them, with a vape in their hand, vaping and, hitting the vape every 2 seconds and, stopping the massage that they supposed to be giving you, stopping the treatment that they supposed to be pampering you with to hit the vape, or just imagine if you come in there for the spa treatment and they drunk or high and they irritable and they giving you a bad attitude. They tripping on you and you ain't even did nothing. You came here to relax. You came here to be pampered and treated. But, this person that works at the spa, they got an attitude, maybe because they want to get drunk or high right now and they can't. They don't like being sober. And, they did just like, you should get the point by now, right? You don't go to a spa treatment for that kind of stuff. You go there, if you do have conversation with the masseuse, it's a good conversation. It's not about anything negative. You don't get too personal. It's smooth, but a lot of times you might not have a conversation with them at all because they doing all the talking with their hands and you just sitting back relaxing. You might got some earplugs in or whatever the case may be. You might got some AirPods in or something, right? So on that same token, when again, back to the client in the 304, when the client comes to the 304, man, he's coming to relax. But what happens in a lot of cases when these clients go to deal with these 304s, man, who Most of them don't recognize their value, but feel entitled to certain things and don't even be asking for nothing big like they supposed to from the client. You know, they when the client come to them, they got a bad attitude. You know, if the client doesn't agree with them, you know, like say a 304 is asking, you know, telling the client that, you know, this is what their rates are, and the client don't agree with them. They want to cuss the client out. They want to talk crazy to the client instead of applying game and convincing the client of why they need to give you what you want. Instead of making it make sense to them and getting cooperation from them, they causing friction. They like causing friction. They not causing harmony. You know, when you want cooperation from people, you want to cause harmony. And a lot of chicks don't understand that. So, you know, a lot of these chicks, because they don't have charisma, because they don't have social skills, a lot of them are socially awkward and don't even know that they are, and therefore can't apply a solution to their social awkwardness because they don't even know they socially awkward. They just like repulsive in a lot of ways. So, you know, they got a bad attitude. You know, they talking crazy to tricks, which at the end of the day are grown men that, you know, just like you want them to respect you, you should respect them until they give you a reason to not respect them. And respect them just, you know, common courtesy, right? You should at least give them common courtesy until they give you a reason to not give them common courtesy, right? So, you know, a lot of these chicks that's in the game right now, you know, from the beginning of the encounter, as soon as the conversation starts, they got a bad attitude. You know, even without dealing with tricks. You ever notice how a lot of chicks in the game, they just got a bad attitude with everybody. You know, if the police is interviewing them and running their name to see if they of age or if they got warrants, they talking crazy to the police. If they in a casino, in the security at the casino asking for their ID or tell them to leave, they want to cause a scene and yell and kick and scream and they just tripping. You know, they getting into it with other 304s trying to fight them. Just everybody they talk to, they got a bad attitude. They tripping on the nail lady at the nail salon. They tripping on the hair lady at the hair salon. They tripping on the cashier at the grocery store. They just got a problem everywhere they go. And this all boils down to you not understanding your value. Because when you understand your value, it empowers you. You understand what you're capable of. You understand what your power is. So you want to utilize that in order to get what you want out of life. But when you don't have a concept of value and you just floating through life, you're going to make a lot of unwise decisions. And that's what a lot of chicks in the game is doing right now because they don't understand their value. Right? But like I said, that's another big mistake that a lot of chicks in the game make every day. They just got a bad attitude when dealing with tricks. They unpleasant to deal with. So, you know, if you just think about it, like I said, from the perspective of a client and what they go through on a day-to-day basis, the last thing you want to do is be more stressful to them than their normal day-to-day life. But that's what a lot of y'all do, though. A lot of chicks are stressful. A lot of y'all are stressful. You know, I ain't even mentioned, you know, I mentioned all these other people that chicks be having a bad attitude towards: the police, security, other 304s, tricks. Man, I ain't even mentioned the type of bad attitude they be having towards the pimping. Man. You know, and see, so I'm gonna tell you something from my perspective as a P, right? When I'm out campaigning, like Sinful taught y'all, I observe and stay preserved until I see who deserves my time, right? So when I'm out campaigning, whether I'm riding a blade, whether I'm in a strip club, or whether or not I'm in a casino, bar, wherever I may be, before I shoot my shot, in most cases, before I shoot my shot at a young lady, I'm observing her. I'm paying attention to her mannerisms. I'm paying attention to how she interacts with people. You know, whether or not she's polite and classy or rude and obnoxious. I'm paying attention to everything that she does, as long as she's within my eyesight, right? In my earshot. So, when I'm out campaigning, like say I'm in a casino, right? And I might see a chick that she's beautiful, you know, aesthetically. She's, you know, very pleasant on the eyes. But security walk up to her and, you know, ask her for her ID, and she like start cussing them out. Right? Or, you know, she might be sitting at a slot machine, and somebody brings her, you know, the drink server brings her a drink, and they get the drink order wrong, and she get to cussing them out and tripping, or she might throw the drink. Just all of that type of stuff, right? I don't care how physically beautiful she is. It's a no for me, dog. I'm not saying anything to her, right? On the blade, if I'm riding the blade and I see some chicks that, again, they may be beautiful, they may be, you know, gold mines and great time. Well, not gold mines, but they might be a great time. But they got a Hennessy bottle or a Douce bottle. Well, I say Hennessy. They'll have a Hennessy bottle and some cups on the trunk of a car that doesn't even belong to them. They don't even know who this car belongs to. But they got Hennessy bottles and cups, and they rolling up weed and doing all this stuff on the back of somebody's trunk that don't belong to them. I'm not saying nothing to nobody like that. I can just foresee what comes with that. So on the same token, imagine a trick riding around. He got a bankroll. He trying to figure out who he's gonna spend it on. Or he might be in a casino with a bankroll, trying to figure out who he gonna spend it on. But he's seeing a bunch of ratchet behavior, bad attitudes, disrespect, you know, just a bunch of undesirable stuff. He gonna keep going, just like the pimping gonna keep going. He gonna keep going right past you. So it's no mystery to me. See, those of y'all who be outside, right? Watch this. On the blade. You ever seen a situation where it's a bunch of 304s down and it's a bunch of traffic, but the tricks ain't stopping for the 304s? You ever see that? I've seen that quite a bit. The tricks is just keep on going. They don't roll their windows down. You know, of course, some of them is gonna roll their window down and stop for a 304. But you ever notice how, in a lot of cases, the tricks just keep on going? It's in the 304s at the same time, they just standing there. The tricks keep on going. You know, I can't say for sure what everybody's reason for passing them by is, but a lot of them are passing them by because they know, okay, she fine, but she a headache. She's beautiful, but you know, it's gonna be friction with her. You know what I mean? She cool, but she look too drunk or high to even, you know, get the job done. This is what they thinking. And then on the other hand, the 304s that fit this description of what I'm talking about, while they don't understand their value and therefore don't understand their role as a 304 and don't understand the client's role, they feel entitled to everything. Hey, listen, this is the squarest shit that a 304 could think, or a chick that's in the game can think, or say. Listen, as a 304, you got to be proactive. If you think that every trick is just gonna come up to you and make it happen, you in a dream, you in a fantasy land. You think this is your DM on Instagram. No. A lot of chicks think like that because they think it from a square perspective. A lot of square women, if they walking through the mall and they see an attractive guy that's to their liking, they not going to approach him. They expect that guy to approach them. Same thing if they at a bar or a club, they think the guy is supposed to make the first move and all this sort of type of shit. Hey, as a 304, a successful one is going to make the first move in a lot of cases. That's that in-call mentality too that I've talked about before, where, you sit back and wait for shit to happen and be reactive to it. Nah. I've had some chicks that I've turned out that in the early stages missed out on some golden opportunities because they felt like they was too good to make the first move on a trick. This is a trick. This is not somebody that you trying to be in a relationship with. This ain't no thirsty dude in your DM that's trying to get with you and make you his girlfriend. No, this is a trick that's going to pay you if you say and do the right things. That's the squarest shit in the world, to think that every date that you catch is going to be that individual making the first move. You did. But yeah, man, in order to make 304s expensive again, you got to make them valuable again. Let me hydrate my game one time, man. Let me see. Let me see where y'all. Hold on. Hold up. Man, come on, man. We in here and chopping and popping this game. Listen, it's 134 people in here right now, but only 84 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain. Do me a favor. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. Okay. Yeah, hit that like button, man. Let me hydrate my game one time. And see, that's some square shit too. Speaking of square shit for a chick in the game to be thinking is that a trick is gonna put up with your attitude. A trick is gonna put up with your bullshit. A trick gonna put up with your disrespect and all this old type of shit. That's not what he pays you for. He doesn't pay you for your attitude. He doesn't pay you to be high and drunk out your mind to where you don't even comprehend what's going on. He doesn't pay you for your disrespect. He pays you to relieve him and then leave him. That's what the trick pays you for. But a lot of y'all would who want you want boyfriends, and you think the trick is supposed to be, your boyfriend and all that. Nah. Got the game messed up. Yes. And speaking of square shit, did a lot of chicks in the game got messed up. And y'all done heard me speak on this plenty of times, but that's where a lot of chicks go wrong too. And this has to do with value as well. A lot of y'all like getting too personal with the clientele. A lot of y'all, be telling them what's going on in your life, and some of y'all even be, if you got kids, you be even taking your kids around the client. Getting too personal with them. And a lot of y'all take a liking to the client. A lot of y'all get possessive over the client. A lot of y'all get jealous of the client if they do what's in the nature of a client to do, which is date multiple 304s. Ain't that some shit? Imagine that. A 304 thinking that a client is supposed to be faithful to them. It sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you, a hefty amount of chicks in the game believe that. They believe that if this client is dating them, that they supposed to be the only one that the client date. Do you not understand that, hey man, this client been dating people since before you was born, and he gonna continue dating people? What make you think he trying to be faithful to you? That's part of why he pays you, so that he can have options. If he was gonna be faithful to somebody, it's not gonna be you. And you shouldn't want it to be you. You should appreciate the fact and be glad about the fact that he doesn't want to be faithful to you. And this is why you're not supposed to trust the client in certain ways, like a lot of chicks be trusting them. Doing the raw business and all that type of stuff. Hey, listen. The trick didn't become a trick just because of you. And if you the first one that he tricked on, you definitely ain't gonna be the last one that he tricked on. Right? A normal, regular trick, hey, he gonna keep on tricking. It's like expecting a vampire to not drink blood. Like, that's what tricks do. They date 304s, and they like variety, as they should. And they pay for variety, as they should. They should be able to pay for variety, and they should be able to have variety, because that's what tricks do. You dig? But you got a lot of chicks, again, because they don't understand their value, and they don't understand that, hey, it's way more tricks where this one came from. And this trick is not the end all be all. He ain't gonna make or break you. You losing this one trick is not gonna be, well, at least it shouldn't be the end of your 304. But damn, I know some chicks that lost the trick, and that was the end of their 304. And ain't that some crazy shit? That's crazy. But I know some chicks like that. I've seen it. I've seen some chicks in the game that started off normal, was dating multiple guys a day, and then they meet one client that gives them a nice lump sum of money whenever they see that client, and then they become dependent upon that client. They put all their eggs in that client's basket, and they stop going to work on a regular and dating and breaking on multiples within a day, and they just depend on that one client. And they do it for an extended period of time, and then when that client eventually does what all clients do, get tired of your ass, hey, and it's over with. I done seen it. A lot of chicks' careers be over with at the same time. And again, that has to do with chicks not understanding their value. When you understand your value, you're not going to become dependent upon one trick. Just think about that. I guarantee you, it's somebody watching right now that's dependent upon one trick. You got one trick. You think that trick going to take care of you forever? You crazy. Especially if he married, got children. No, he's not going to take care of you forever. You're crazy. And if you're not making, if you're not using that trick that, again, is giving you a hefty lump sum every time y'all see each other, this is why it's important to have some ism in your life. This is why not only game is important, but guidance as well is important, right? Because a smart 304 that got some game and some guidance that come from the pimping in her life, she's going to make the most out of that situation with that trick that breaks her off hunks and chunks at a time. And this is why I don't have a problem sharing game on here. Now, of course, there's certain game that I'm never going to share on here, right? Certain game is never going to be shared on the internet, Certain specialized knowledge is never going to be shared, and it's only shared with the individuals that's dedicated to myself, right? But this is why I don't have a problem speaking freely about the game. This is why I don't have no problem giving up game. One, because I want the game as a whole to be greater, but two, I know that guidance is just as important as the game, if not more. The guidance is just as critical in a 304's life as the game. Listen, I could write a book with nothing but game in it. I could write a book filled with game, specifically for 304's to be better 304's, right? And I could personally hand this book out to all the 304's in the game. And this book is just filled with game that's going to make them better 304's. The book alone is not going to make them better 304's. Even though they got all the game in the palm of their hands, literally, in the form of a book, that alone is not going to make them better 304's. They need the guidance as well. The guidance is just as crucial. Because the guidance, the ingredients to the guidance is wisdom, experience, time, blood, sweat, tears, years, trial and error. There's so many ingredients that go into that guidance that the 304 has the luxury in a lot of cases of not having to go through. See, the pimping, we go through certain things that a 304 is never going to go through. A 304, ain't going to have a pimp's perspective on the game. She's not going to deal with so many different types of women, so many different types of characteristics, so many different personalities. The pimping is becoming sharper and sharper, not just as far as knowledge, but wisdom as well from these experiences. As I say all the time, the pimping get greater with every hoe that blow. So, just imagine you getting with a seasoned pimp as a 304 and he done had 100, 500, 1,000 304's before you. You have the luxury of benefiting from that wisdom and that experience and being guided by that individual. See, if you understood your value, you would think to yourself, okay, I understand my value and I understand how my value makes me powerful. So, in order to make the most of my value, I know that I can't do it alone. I know that anything great and anyone great and anyone who's been a part of anything great did not do it alone. I know that anything great has to do with cooperation with the right people. So in this lifestyle, the right people is the pimping. So because I understand my value and I want to make the most of my value, I'm going to choose the best pimp that I could find. And the best pimp that you could find, again, is somebody with experience and wisdom that's going to guide you with that. It's a beautiful luxury. Like if chicks understood the beauty in that. You know, when the pimping could see how you moving, and before you even make it halfway down the street, he knows whether or not to tell you, like, stop. Don't go that way, because if you continue this way, this is what's going to be at the end of that block. Don't go that way. I done seen a million 304s before you go that way, and every time they have the same outcome. So don't go that way. Go this way. Because on the same token, I've seen a whole bunch of hoes go this way, and this is the more desired outcome in this direction. So go this way. You not going to have that wisdom because you not the pimping. You ain't pimped on nobody. You done rubbed elbows with a few goofy broads in the game that ain't got no game they damn self, but you don't have the wisdom and the experience that the pimping has. So not only does he have game that's going to make you more effective and, you know, help you make the most out of your value, he's going to be able to guide you the right way. So that when certain opportunities present themselves to you, not only are you going to make the most of the opportunity, but you're going to make it last the way that it's supposed to. You're going to parlay it into the right things. And not only are you going to elevate with this guidance, before you can elevate, as I always say, what? You got to evolve. You know, this guidance is going to help you grow. It's going to help you evolve so that when the time comes to elevate, you're prepared to elevate. A lot of y'all be talking about elevation and you be using that elevation word and you're not even ready for it. If the opportunity presents itself for you to elevate in a way that you could never imagine, you're not even prepared for it because you haven't evolved. You don't even have a concept of evolution. You don't even think about that shit. And all of this is going to come from choosing the right individual. The pimping. You dig? Yeah, man. Let's see something. Hold on, let me give some acknowledgments. Palm, my loved one, good looking with the $2 holla. I only got $25 on my EBT, bitch. Oh, man. Y'all ain't gonna never let that die. That's funny as hell, though. Good looking, no Palm. Appreciate you. Tyler, my brother from another mother, good looking with the $2 holla. Get the likes up. You dig. Yes, indeed. Jack Tripper, good looking with the $2 holla. Good to see you, Freeze. Blesses, Pete. Jack Tripper, appreciate you, man. 905 Dream, good looking with the $20 holla. Love from Canada. We need a campaigning in the S Club vid for real. I could do that. I could do that. Even though it's what's funny? I really don't. I guess I probably I ain't gonna say liked it, but I probably was more okay with it before than I am now. But I'm not the biggest fan of campaigning in the strip club. But you know what? As I think about it, that's a good ass idea, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that real soon, man. Campaigning in the strip club because, hey man, it's a lot of unpimpish ways that ain't got nothing to do with no pimping. But a lot of cats, they effectively, come up with chicks in the strip club. You know, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good idea, man. I think I will do that in the very near future, man. That's a good ass idea, man. Appreciate that, man, for real. Reading these comments. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, man, it's a lot of cats that campaign in the strip club and they do stuff that the pimping is not gonna do. I'm not gonna do it. For real though. CG says, hold on. but freeze. But Freeze should write a book for the ones that can still read though. You have spectacular in your shit too, P. We need that book because some of us are still intelligent enough to read books. Yeah, I wouldn't. If I did ever write a book though, it wouldn't be like a how to book. I wouldn't write a book to like try to teach the game. You dig? If I did write a book, it would probably be more of a testimonial book. And, of course, it's going to be some game in there because just like I got a lot of game through my trials and tribulations and experiences in the game, if I share that, whoever reads the book is going to get it as well. But, yeah, I wouldn't try to write a book to teach the game. I was speaking hypothetically about, if I were to do that. But I wouldn't in actuality if I were to write a book, I wouldn't try to teach the game. And this ain't no knock to nobody, but it's just the truth. I haven't read really any of those books. I know it's a lot of cats that got books that like try to teach the game. The books that I have read did have been written by the pimping were, like I said, something like what I would do, like, the pimping giving a testimony. Like Noble D's book. That's probably one of my favorite pimp books. Is the book by Noble D. Cause Noble D and it's pimp. What is it? Pimp Story of My Life. Let me not get it wrong. Let me look it up real quick. Noble D. I think it's Pimp Story of My Life. Oh no. Pimp Reflections of My Life. That's Noble D's book. Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to blow it up. Let's see, can y'all see that? There we go. Bam. This is like probably my favorite book. I ain't read a whole lot of books that's written by the pimping, but this one would be my favorite out of what I've read so far. But that's Noble D, Pimp Reflection, reflection of my life. Um, yeah, that's a good one, man, because it's real nostalgic. It takes you back to a different time, and you know how people was operating, how the world was. It's just it's a good book. It takes me back, even though you know I was too young to have been in the game. I'm not a contemporary of Noble D, but I remember how the world was back then as a little kid. You know what I mean? So when he talks about like the music that was popping at the time, the type of cars that the pimping was driving, you know, how the jewelry was, just, you know, the way they was dressing, you know, I remember a lot of that from when I was a kid. So that's what makes me like the book probably more than the average person or you know, people who don't have the same experience as me or come from the same time as me. But yeah, Noble D's book is dope. But as far as the other books that guys from the game have written that are kind of like how-to type of books that's supposed to like teach you the game and all that type of stuff, I've never read any of those books. But what I will say is the people that I know or people that I've talked to that have read those books, they be speaking a bunch of bullshit. Like, I ain't gonna say his name, man, but Royce, I know you know what I'm talking about because you know we from the same generation. So and others, you know, I don't know if Divine is in here. Divine probably in here too. You know, guys like y'all know what I'm talking about when I say what I'm about to say. But it's a certain individual that's real popular in the game, you know, and this individual wrote a book. I'm guessing maybe like probably over 15 years ago. I don't know if it's been 20 years, but it's a certain somebody that wrote this book that was real popular in the game, right? And I talked to a lot of young people that had read that book at the time because it was popular. And the stuff that they was telling me that they read in the book and the quote unquote game that they was getting from the book was bullshit. Right? And I say all of that to say my belief, it ain't no knock to nobody, I ain't knocking nobody's hustle, but my belief is that everybody that I know of that has written a book that's trying to teach the game, hey man, charlatans, man. You know, they trying to sell y'all some smoke and mirrors. You dig? Yeah, it just be a bunch of bullshit. I ain't really into that, you know, because see, this is the thing. Like I just said, you know, I could write a book with a whole bunch of game in it and sell it to y'all, and a lot of y'all will probably buy it. But you know, from a 304's perspective, the game ain't gonna really serve you much because you need the guidance to go with it. From the pimpin's perspective, or just from a man's perspective, period, the game might serve you a little bit that you get from a book, but it's nothing like experience. As they say, experience is the best teacher. Is that, man, that is so true. And anybody who can write a book and put some game in it, if it's some real game, they got it from experience. They didn't get it from studying a book like they given to you. And it's cool to study and read and try to learn about the game that way. But hey man, as far as our lifestyle, as far as this pimping, hey, the best way to learn is outside. You dig? And not only is that the best way to learn, but that's the main way that you're going to learn. You know, information just sticks with you a lot better when you learn it from experience, right? It's one thing to read about it. It's a whole other thing to, you know, you're going to understand it a whole lot better. Like there might be a specific piece of information that you read in a book, right? It might be a specific piece of information and you read it from the book and you're like, damn, that's some cold game. When you go through an experience this synonymous with that information that you read in that book, it's going to hit you totally different. You're going to be like, damn, I read this in the book like 5-10 years ago or whatever, but damn, I didn't know it was like this. Like, shit, this is totally different. Now I understand. Now I know what it means. Right? It's certain game that you might pick up from me or from Sinful or from Dre or you know, various other people that you watch on YouTube or on the internet, period, right? It's certain game that you might pick up, but it's not going to be the same as when you go through it, when you got the experience to go with the information. It's totally different, right? You know, and then a lot of y'all, you get into a mode where you just so eager for information, you just so hungry to soak up as much game as you can. And you get into a mode where you spend a lot of time seeking, researching, soaking up game. And you spend so much time doing that that you don't spend any time applying any of the game that you've been soaked up. You've been soaking up game for months. You've been soaking up game for years. You've been watching Sinful. You've been watching Dre. You've been watching various people on the internet, and you've been soaking up a whole lot of game. You done read every book. But you ain't getting out there and applying none of the information that you soaked up. At some point in time, man, you're going to have to put some action with it. And when you put action with it, you're going to learn like, damn, this ain't as simple as just listening to somebody or reading something and I got it. It don't work like that. Yeah, so you gotta go through it to get to it, as we say, man. We don't say that for no reason, and it sounds good. It's a slick little cliche. It rolls smoothly off the tongue, but it's the truth. You have to go through it to get to it. You can't get to it without going through it. You can't read it to get to it. You can't listen to it to get to it. You can't observe it to get to it. You got to go through it to get to it. That's necessary, man. For real. Hydrate my game one more time. Let me see what y'all. Hold on, man. Man, it's 187 of y'all up in here, but only 125 of y'all don't wipe, or 135, excuse me. Only 135 of y'all don't wipe your feet off at the door when you step to a pimp's domain. Come on, man. Hit that like button, man. That icon that look like that. You dig? Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. You hydrate my game one time, put some more of this love in my body. Rod, good looking with the $20 holla. Blessings, P. Oh, glory to the game. Glory to this game. Blessings, P. Hey, man, get the likes up. P talking to me right now, man. Let's honor this ism. Appreciate you, Rod. Good looking. Let me see. CG says, I'm a real one, Freeze. I fucked with your bro heavy and spread his message in yours, roasting the fuck out of Mac Rooster. I fucks with y'all. CG, man, appreciate you. That's big, man. I can't even express to you how much things like that, what you just said, mean to me. And I don't take it lightly, and I don't take it for granted, man. I appreciate you. Oh, I see the IG live has ended. Somebody on the Instagram asked, Stanford Moore said, "Have you heard of the Pimp's Bible by the late Bilbo?" Uh, I think I heard that Bilbo wrote a book, but I probably didn't know the title of it. The Pimp's Bible. See, I don't know. I can't speak to that one because I'm not, again, like I said, them type of books I don't really read as far as like, instructional type of books or books that's going to teach you the game and all that type. That ain't really my thing. Again, no knock to anybody, but, I don't really indulge in that. Y'all funny as hell in this chat. Y'all be cracking me up, man. But yeah, man, I wasn't gonna hold y'all too long. In the words of Simple to P, man, this ain't gonna take too long. And y'all funny in this chat, man. I ain't messing with y'all, man. I'm trying to keep it smooth, you dig? I'm trying to keep it smooth. I'm trying to keep it smooth, man. Y'all tripping. Y'all trying to cause friction up in here, man. Y'all trying to make a pimp roast people and roast with y'all and all that other type of stuff, man. I'm trying to keep it smooth. Oh, man. But y'all funny as hell. I ain't messing with y'all, man. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up, man. Keep it semi short but sweet. I'm gonna try to do my best to not make these lives too long because I know, it's cool in real time when you live with me like we are right now. But I know on the playback for a lot of people, them 2, 3, 4 hour lives, it's just a lot. So I'm gonna do my best to keep the lives shorter. You did. Y'all funny. CG said, "Nah, Freeze, do your shit." Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to keep the lives like around the hour mark. You dig? So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up. As always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate all the comments, shares, questions, jokes, input, feedback, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for subscribing and hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate all the super chats, the cash apps, the PayPals. I appreciate your support in every which way that you comes with it, man. Nah, CG, you good, man. It's all good. I'm just saying, man. I'm trying to be smooth, but but yeah, man. I appreciate y'all. And hold on. Gotta get it right, man, before we go. 3 hours later, seeing voice right. But yeah, man, if y'all out in traffic moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out.